Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but people are still coming against you? It's a tough spot to be in, feeling misunderstood and attacked when all you've tried to do is good. King David knew this feeling all too well, and he poured his heart out to God in what we now know as Psalm 35. Let's dive into it. David starts with a powerful plea. Contend, Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. He's not asking for personal revenge. He's handing the battle over to God. He's asking the ultimate defender to step in. He describes his enemies as people he once cared for. When they were sick, he mourned and prayed for them as if they were his own family. But when he stumbled, they gathered in glee to slander him. It's a painful picture of betrayal. But even in this deep hurt, David's focus shifts. He doesn't stay stuck in the pain. He declares his trust in God's deliverance. He says, "My soul will rejoice in the Lord and delight in his salvation." This is a key lesson for us. When we feel wronged, our first instinct might be to fight back or despair. David shows us another way. Bring the injustice to God, trust him to be our advocate, and find our joy not in the outcome of the battle, but in God himself. He knows that God sees the truth and will ultimately vindicate the righteous. Now, let's move to Psalm 36. This psalm paints a beautiful contrast. It starts by describing the wicked person, whose heart is so full of sin that they have no fear of God. They flatter themselves. They've ceased to be wise or do good, and even in bed they're plotting trouble. It sounds pretty bleak, right? But then the perspective dramatically shifts in verse 5. It's like the camera pans from a dark, cramped room up to the vast, open sky. David writes, "Your love, Lord, reaches to the heavens, your faithfulness to the skies. Your righteousness is like the highest mountains, your justice like the great deep." What a powerful change in focus. He stops looking at the problem and starts looking at the greatness of God. God's love isn't small or limited. It's as vast as the heavens. His faithfulness isn't shaky. It's as constant as the sky. His righteousness is as solid and immovable as the mountains. David reminds us that no matter how much darkness and evil we see in the world, God's goodness, love, and justice are infinitely greater. He then says something amazing. How priceless is your unfailing love, O God. People take refuge in the shadow of your wings. In God we find a fountain of life, and in his light we see light. This isn't just about escaping problems. It's about finding true life, joy, and clarity in God's presence. When we feel surrounded by the darkness of other people's actions or our own struggles, the answer is to run to God's light. So, what do we take away from these two Psalms? Psalm 35 teaches us to entrust our battles and our pain to God, trusting him as our defender. Psalm 36 teaches us to lift our eyes from the trouble around us and fix them on the immense, unfailing love and righteousness of God. When you feel attacked, give it to God. When you feel overwhelmed by the darkness, look to his light. He is our refuge, our defender, and the source of all life. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore these powerful words. I hope they bring you comfort and strength this week. If this resonated with you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. See you next time.